Hi, my name is Omar Mora. I'm the writer creator of The Unearthians and Ancient Explorers, and you guys are watching So Booking Cool.
So fucking, so fucking, so fucking cool.
There's so much fucking cool to listen to so fucking cool.
Welcome to So Booking Cool, it's Joel B. Today's guest wears various hats. He is a doctor, actor, writer, producer, CEO, publisher, and author. Through his production company, Moras Productions, he releases books, film, and soon-to-be television with the adaptation of his first book, Unearthians, a top 10 indie release at the 2019 Comic-Con. He also was the first Puerto Rican to obtain a film distributed at AMC theaters through AMC Independent. He's back with a new book, which just launched at this year's Comic-Con, the graphic novel, Ancient Explorers, The Lost City of Peru, illustrated by Miguel Guzman and Edwin Estrada. Here with us today, he is Omar Mora. Stay tuned for our conversation, only in So Booking Cool.
Thank you, Joe.
No problem. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm well too. Excited to talk to you and congratulations with the release of Ancient Explorers.
Thank you. Thank you. We are so excited that we just released it last weekend at San Diego Comic Con, and so far it's been good. A lot of people read it and they're happy with it. So I'm happy when people love, the story that I wrote. So that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the heart and soul of the story and Ancient Explorers?
So basically, Ancient Explorers is about two best friends met two beautiful archaeologists, Mars archaeologists that find a compass that Mark has. And that compass is an artifact or antique that his grandpa gave him when he was a young boy. And the compass has like ancient symbols that can lead to Paititi. Paititi is the Lost City of Peru. It's a true legend that I learned when I went to the Amazon jungle back in 2009. So basically, these four friends, Jennifer, Sandy, Luis, and Mark, something got, I don't want to spoil, but something got their lives in danger, drove them to follow their dreams, to be, explorers of the ancient, like his grandpa. And it's basically this journey of finding Paititi. But it's more than that. It's about finding themselves, like these four souls into going to this journey to find this city, but at the same time is to grow as a person and find themselves. Sometimes when you are in a situation that life push you, sometimes you don't know how capable you are of doing great things. And this is basically what the core of the story and the soul of the story is. Like, we need to take life's opportunity to be better, to become better, and elevate ourselves to be better persons and follow our dreams.
Ooh, I love that message. And we're going to talk more about Ancient Explorers, but something else that I want to know is that I know after the tragic event of 9/11, you were inspired to pursue a career in acting. Can you tell us more about that?
Definitely. This is one of the things that inspired Ancient Explorer is my own personal life, in the sense of I was doing my last year of medical school in New York when September 11 happened, and that experience, I was down there. I helped people in the hospital, people that has burned, and it's experience that actually changed you from your core, like I said, and it just drove me to follow my dreams. And one of the things I always wanted to do is acting and writing, and I decided, why not? I come from a small town in Puerto Rico. Usually acting or writing is not the career to follow. It's just mostly, like more safe type of careers, like a medical doctor. And I decided to, life is too short not to do what you want to do. So that situation pushed me to do what I really love, and I'm so grateful because it just changed my life completely. Even moving to LA, I was gonna get married. I decided not to get married, and I'm just, it just pushed me to be a better person and to follow my dreams.
Wow. Was there
Yeah.
ever was there ever any doubt at all that you had about following your dream?
Yeah, I mean it's a tough business. It's a tough business, but once I decided to do it, at least my personality, I never look back. I just move forward, sometimes faster, sometimes slowly, but whatever it is, I just keep moving forward towards my goal. And even now, trying to get my stories into live action adaptation is one of my dreams that I really pursuing, and I just move forward. I never look back, and yeah, there's no way I'm gonna look back now at all. So
And you are such a self-starter, Omar, with writing your books, publishing them, making your own movies and TV shows. Did you always have an entrepreneurial spirit?
I do. I always, I'm working since I'm, I don't know, 12 years old. I was the paper boy on my neighborhood. I work in a local Taco Bell store when I was 15. I did summer works just to get some cash, and I love to travel. So every time I was going to travel, I do some work to get some cash and just travel. And that's the same spirit I have right now. It's I still have my practice, and then just pursuing this. I have that drive to do things for myself and by myself.
How do you balance that? Like having your practice and then your creative endeavors as well.
It's challenging, but thank God the infrastructure I created myself with all the logistic, it just kind of autopilot right now. I do medicine in the morning, and that's taken care. I have a manager of the office, so there's all the infrastructure is in place. And on the production side, I have people that work with me and different endeavors. And it just, I think I'm very organized with my time, and I like to outsource. But there's no way you can do everything by yourself. So I think that's what's make my balance healthy. Because if not, you're gonna get overwhelmed. And if you get overwhelmed, then you're not enjoying it. You wanna be able to do everything that you want, but without stress yourself out, because then what's the point?
When it comes to the craft, should people take advice from people who are seasoned, or it doesn't matter?
I do take a lot of advice from people that are seasoned. If it's just entrepreneurship advices, writer's advice, I did a lot of workshops advice, acting advices. I mean, I went to acting school. I do like to take a lot of advice from people that already been on my position and they're much successful. I'm not the type of person. I take advice from everybody if I think if I think it's worth it. But there's something that how can I say it? It's not that I believe more, but when somebody has accomplished something, the action speaks more than words. So it's kind of back them up when they give you an advice. It's like, not to put it in that way, but if you're looking for somebody to give you advice on stocks, how to increase your stocks and your money, and that person that's giving you the advice is being broke, not being broke, but he has like bankruptcy, all his businesses, it's not going to wait as an advice that somebody's been successful. There's a lot of how can I say it, a lot of things that make people successful, not just one thing. So a lot of variables, so you need to take that into account. So when people give you advices, but I love to take advices from everybody.
What's some of the best pieces of advice that you've gotten so far?
I think that the one I never forget, and I think people heard about this all the time. Even Nike is the logo of Nike. Just do it.
Yeah.
You never gonna know everything before start. You're gonna make so many mistakes. I still doing so many mistakes but you just learn and you just go forward. Like, I have friends of mine, writers and actors, that they don't put their work out there waiting for the work to be perfect, and perfection will kill the creativity, or you never be perfect. You just need to put things out there, and you, of course, you need to educate yourself. You need to study yourself, make it better every year you pass in whatever career you do. But you need to jump at it. You need to jump and just do it. Don't think it twice.
Absolutely. You said also in another interview that every writer is unique. So how can one stand out if they're also inspired and might be emulating the style of another writer? What can they do?
Yeah, definitely. Like, when I said that, it's because everybody has his own experience, his own thoughts, his own emotions. And I think if you put that on the paper, it's going to be unique. Even if you are inspired by, like, ancient explorers, for example, is inspired by stories like Indiana Jones or The Goonies or National Treasures, it's never going to be the same, because my experiences are my own and my emotion through those experiences are in the page, and that's very individualized. It's very unique, and each of us have those uniqueness. And I think if you put yourself, whatever work you do, it's gonna be unique no matter what, because every soul on this planet, there's 7 billions, they're unique, even if we look physically the same.
How have you grown as a writer since Unearth This?
This is I was talking about this with a friend the other day. Like, for example, when I wrote The Unearthian, the comic book, and now that I'm writing the TV episodes, for pitching, I see stuff that I was like, oh, this is a lot of exposition on this, especially on the first issues. I shouldn't write that. I prefer, so I change a lot of the things to make it work better. And as the more you write, the best you get, the better you get. I guess it's like sports. Like, if you do any type of sports, I play table tennis, so you need to practice every time. So the more you practice, the more you do, the better you get. So definitely, I think I'm getting better writing. Hopefully.
Oh, I know you are. Like, of course you are. You have a favorite time of day or favorite place to write?
In the mornings. When I'm actively writing a story, I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, 5 to 7, those 2 hours. It's like, I don't know, everything flows. Nobody bothers me on my phone. I put the phone on the side. I don't know, it just flows, and I can write more pages, and the story is more, I don't know, it have more substance to it. When I go work in the office and, have my daily stuff, and then at night sit to write, that I push myself to do it, even if it's 1 or 2 pages, it's harder because your mind is tired.
Yeah. What's the best?
Definitely mornings.
Mornings. Okay. Yeah. What can someone do to overcome writer's block?
It's a question that people ask me, and I don't want to feel like, but I just write. Even if I get stuck, I'm always thinking about the story. I always have a notebook on my car or by my shower. Sorry for that. I don't know what's going on. Or on my shower. So I always write ideas. So when I have a writer's block, like, I don't know how to put the story, how the story will proceed, I just found those ideas throughout the day, and that gave me the tip or the push to get out of that writer's block. So it's basically think about the story and just keep writing.
That makes sense, right? Because with you saying that, Omar, it's making me think that when you're thinking about the story, you're reminded of like why you're doing it and the story that you're trying to tell.
Definitely, and I think, I don't know if you remember when you were in college or high school, at least on me, and even in med school, like, even when if you're immersed in something, even when you sleep, your mind keeps working. And I remember in medicine resolving some things on my mind. So in acting, it's the same. Sometimes I'm driving and that little word or that little scene or that little sentence comes to mind, I write it down, and that pushed me into that, part that I'm trying to overcome. So it just, I think, being open to ideas or whatever you're surrounded by, and then just I write it down so I can remember.
Nice. Do you write it down on a paper or on your phone?
Everywhere. I write it on the phone. I have like sticky papers. I have like meat paper size everywhere, because sometimes, and it happens, sometimes I don't have, I'm going to remember. So I said it 20 times on my mind. Sometimes I forget and I get pissed off, because sometimes that's idea change everything. So I do have everywhere where to write.
You're prepared.
Yeah. I mean, you need to. Especially when you're actively writing a story.
Yeah. That makes so much sense. Like you said, like ideas, inspiration can come up at any time. What is your favorite way to tell a story? Is it through books, film, recording?
I love the thing I like to write the most is film scripts. I love films. I love comics. I love TV series, but I grew up watching films. I watch independent films, fantasy, sci-fi is my love for screenwriting. So writing films, I just visualize everything when I'm writing it, so it's even easier for me.
Something that I love too is that when you're writing your books, for example, you have a lot of actors in mind, right, of who can play those characters, right? So
Yep.
tell us more about that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think when you have an actor, or imagine like a character on your mind that somebody played in the movies, it's just easier to write it because you think about that person. And I have for example, when I was writing The Unearthian, I have my actor in mind who was gonna play it on the TV series. Now we're gonna approach him now, hopefully. But I thought about him when I was writing it back in 2018. The same with Ancient Explorers. It's just easier. I mean, there's some characters that you don't think, but usually the main characters, I do think about actors that can play the characters, and I mean, visualization about it makes it easier to write it.
Yeah. And tell us about Inside the Circle.
Inside the Circle is a film that came out last year. I wrote it. That's a very personal movie. It's not a real life of mine, but a lot of my thinking as Omar Mora is there. I would say, I mean, if you see the movie, it's about this geek guy that he loves comic books world. He fall in love with this girl, but he doesn't believe in marriage or the traditional thing about relationships per se. And 94% that I wrote is basically what I really think in life. So it was a fun project to shoot. I came out last year on September on VOD. I came, I think it was 7 countries. Steffi Garcia, the main actress, she's one of a good friend of mine that we took a lot of acting classes together. So it was fun shooting it with her. Javier Colon, the director, I know him from Puerto Rico, and he loved the story, and we just jumped at it. And I love. It's a very intimate story, indie film, mostly 2 actors, and it's a unique story.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And it sounds like it'll be something that people can relate to.
A lot of people that watch it, that's what they send me emails or messages that yes, because it's a lot of things we do because of cultures or dogma or religious belief that we put in ourselves, and we live by those dogmatics or beliefs, and sometimes it's not the right way. So I did mention all of that there. It was for me a type of therapy to put things out there, things that I really think.
Okay. Yeah. Going back to Ancient Explorers, how did you end up working with Miguel, Guzman, Edwin, and Edwin Estrada?
Edwin was the first person I met doing comic books. He's a colorist from Mexico. He's such a talented person, really talented. And he hooked me up with Miguel Guzman when I was looking for a penciler for Ancient Explorers, and he talked to me about Miguel. He sent me some art that Miguel had done in the past in Mexico. Such a talented person. I want to work with him again. And Edwin was the bridge between me and Miguel, and I'm so happy with the art that Ancient Explorer have. Beautiful, really.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It really is.
Yeah, and the colors are beautiful too by Edwin. So I'm happy with the team. I've been lucky with artists in comic books. Sometimes it's not that easy.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yes, I was lucky with them.
Why can't it be easy sometimes? Like, just give an example.
Because sometimes you can hire an artist, and even if you know how the work is and they look great, maybe they take more time than you wish it takes. Maybe they're not as responsible as you want to be. Maybe they want to change the script. Maybe they're not as open for collaboration. And working with Miguel and Edwin is just flows so easy. The work comes on time. The art is better than what you think. When we talk about some panels or some collaboration, they're very open for ideas. I'm open for ideas. So I don't know, it's just the energy flows better than sometimes when you work with an artist that they complicate things because of they want to do it on their own way and they're not responsible. And there's a lot of them out there, a lot.
Well, I'm glad that it was an amazing experience with this book. What was the response to Unearthians, and is it the same response that you are anticipating for Ancient Explorers?
I hope so. I mean, The Unearthian was my first comic book, and the response was amazing. LA Comic Con, it got like top 10 indie comics of the con, so I think that was a surprise, wasn't expected. A lot of good reviews. The art of The Unearthians by Mauricio Alvarez is incredible, so a lot of praise about his art. Now the representation that I got for The Unearthians for live action adaptation, they love the story, so they're jumping to work with me to make it happen. And I hope Ancient Explorer have the same response. Although Ancient Explorer is a hybrid novel and comic book, I hope the story have the same response as The Unearthians.
And on that note, Omar Mora. Omar, thank you so much for talking to So Booking Cool today. It was truly a pleasure, and would love to speak with you again in the future.
I appreciate you. I'm sorry for the background and all the noise. Usually this part of town is very quiet, so I apologize to your audience as well. But I'm happy that we were able to talk and communicate.
Yes, likewise. Oh, it was fine. It was fine. And this was different. I've never, had an outside interview before. That was cool, Omar.
I appreciate it. And like I always tell people, thank you for the opportunity, because people like you put independent creators out there and our stories out there. So I do appreciate it.
Oh, Omar, that's so kind. Yeah. I think we need each other. We're good for each other,
Definitely.
How can people keep up with you and check out all the fabulous work that you're doing and have done in Ancient Explorers?
So they can visit my website, morasproductions.com. You can find my independent films and all the comics there and the links. And you can follow me on Instagram at Mora himself.
There you have it, guys. Make sure that you check Omar out. And as always, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Until next time, So Booking Cool.